The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has publicly defended Edo State Governor Monday Okpebholo's insistence that Peter Obi, the 2023 Labour Party presidential candidate, should seek security clearance before visiting Edo State. While speaking at the commissioning of Edo Line in Benin City on Tuesday, Wike supported Okpebholo's stance, citing his own experience as Rivers State Governor, where Obi had obtained a permit before visiting. Wike emphasized that these protocols are not political, but are essential for the visitor's security, stating that if anything were to happen to Obi, the state governor will be blamed. Let's take a look.
I've watched on television of recent unnecessary debates, and that is why I say Nigerians forget history. When I was governor, when Peter was coming to my state, they notified me that he was coming to my state. I provided logistics, vehicles for him to use. Because at that level, as a profile presidential candidate, if he does not tell you and anything happens, the governor will be held responsible. And people should stop politicking. Obi, knowing fully well with their so-called coalition, anything can happen. They will accuse the governor that he was behind it. So the statement you made, you are quite right. You didn't say, don't come. All I'm saying, if you are coming, tell me, because I'm here to protect
you. Meanwhile, the Edo State Governor, Monday Okpebholo, reiterated his demand that Peter Obi must notify him and seek security clearance before visiting the state. Okpebholo insists that it is not a threat, but a necessary security protocol to ensure the safety of all residents and visitors, especially high-profile individuals. Let's take a look.
Well, because of the rain, I'm not going to talk much. Even when they said I don't talk, just one word, one sentence, everybody was crying. I simply said, it's an advice. Don't come to Edo without telling me. Was I chewing hot yam? Do I need 1 + 3 to make my sentence?
No!
Do I need to read encyclopedias for people to understand what I'm saying?
No!
My job is not only to work for Edo people. My job is to save the life of every Edo citizen and visitors coming into Edo. If telling him to notify me as the chief security officer of this state is a crime, so be it. I have no regret about it. I repeat it, before you come into Edo State, notify me. It's not a threat. I don't know which one is paining them. Is it because I said they don't have shishi? Do they not say they don't have shishi? So why are they crying?
As it pain them, it is sweet us. As it is sweet us, it is pain.
As it is sweet us. Dr. Bati, please, you let us know whether he needs an encyclopedia or not, whether he understands English or not. Well, you know, the governor is insisting, Bimbai, before I come to you, despite this widespread criticism, including from former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, who views it as a threat to opposition figures. Meanwhile, the chairman of the All Progressives Congress in Edo State, Jared Tenebin, has again publicly declared his hatred for Peter Obi, insisting that he has every right to express such a sentiment and rejecting the suggestion that dislike would be a more appropriate term. Tenebin made the comment on live television, asserting that his views are protected under the Nigerian Constitution. He further argued that he's an extremist who does not stay in the middle, asserting that if he doesn't love someone, he hates them. Let's take a look.
You see, when he said I made a statement that Peter Obi is hated, I hate Peter Obi. The opposite of hate is love. If I don't love you, I hate you. And I know I express myself, so I don't hide my feelings. I don't like Peter Obi, I still maintain it. I don't like him. And if I don't like somebody, I hate the person.
But hate is a strong word. You can dislike someone without hating them, really, Mr. Tenebi. If I don't love you, it doesn't necessarily mean that I hate you. I can dislike you.
No. That is, if the difference between hate and love is what you are saying, that being at the middle. I don't stay at the middle. I'm an extremist. I stay at the extreme. I don't like Peter Obi. I hate him. I have the right to like or hate. The Constitution of Nigeria is clear on freedom of expression. I can express how I feel about somebody. The Constitution does not say don't hate somebody, or you don't have to hate somebody. So I can decide to hate or like somebody.
All right, this was very hard to swallow, Vimbai. And, you know, I think I should just read this tweet that I got from X, from Characteristics, who actually detailed the consequences of hate speech, because that's clearly a hate speech. He wrote on X, hate speech has consequences. Leadership must rise above it. Such sentiments are reckless, incendiary, and undemocratic, especially from someone occupying a high-ranking political position. They undermine national unity and have the potential to incite violence, especially in Nigeria's already tense political environment. History teaches us that hate speech is never harmless. In 2011, politically charged rhetoric contributed to post-election violence in northern Nigeria, claiming over 800 lives. In 2019, inflammatory political languages led to violent clashes in Rivers and Bayelsa states, with lives and property lost. In Rwanda, 1994, hate speech broadcast over radio was a key driver of the genocide that led to the mass murder of 800,000 people, over 800,000 people. We cannot afford to ignore the power of words. When political leaders publicly express hatred, they normalize division, embolden extremist behavior, and erode the foundation of peaceful democratic engagement. I therefore call on the federal government of Nigeria to immediately caution the said APC official and reinforce the need for civil political discourse, the media to exercise greater responsibility in challenging hate speech and ensuring that platforms are not used to promote hostility. International human rights and democracy defenders to take note and speak out against such dangerous rhetoric in Nigeria's political space. We must act now before words become weapons. Democracy thrives on debate, not division. No political grievance justifies publicly declaring hate against another citizen. I urge all stakeholders, both local and international, to join in condemning this act in promoting a culture of tolerance, peace, and accountability. Vimbai.
A culture of tolerance, peace, and accountability. I really love that, because I can't believe that we are looking at the chairman for the ruling party in Edo State. And if you rewind to the election that took place last year, you remember how intensely hateful, if I can use that word, it was filled with this insightful language. There were several scenes that we saw of just the type of Nigeria that we do not want, the type of Nigeria that Nigerians do not deserve. So this kind of talk, you know, we're not saying everybody should gather around the fireplace, hold hands, and sing Kumbaya. Dissent will happen. You know, we can have differences, but to get to the point, hate is an intense dislike for someone. So to say that I dislike somebody intensely is a very, very concerning thing, because it goes beyond political differences. This is a personal grievance that you have. And now when somebody has this type of disposition towards somebody, and then it's echoed by, oh, if you don't get a permit for me, whatever you see, you'll take it. You can't blame Peter Obi for feeling threatened by that. You can't blame his supporters for feeling that this is a threat. You're actually reinforcing the threat. Now, if we rewind to what they're saying is the genesis of this whole crisis, they're saying that when he came, there was a stampede at one of the churches where he did philanthropy, and that following that stampede, 3 people died. I saw on another platform where the Commissioner of Information was interviewed and interrogated and said, well, can you share evidence of the stampede? And he was unable to produce this. I just want to repeat that call and that request for evidence of this stampede. Let's see it, let's know it, let's truly know what transpired on that day, because for now it's seeming as though something was created to try and create opposition, to try and make the playing field difficult for an opposition figure. Now, as for Mr. Nyesom Wike saying that, oh, Peter Obi sought permission to come to Rivers State during the election. I think context is always important. Of course, during an election period, when there are rallies happening, when there's that type of activity happening, in the mood of elections as well, because he was also campaigning. Of course, he would have written to the governor of the state to make sure he's on his good side and so forth. So there's politics involved in this as well. But if we're now saying that in this country, if a high net worth individual or a high profile individual decides to travel to a state to conduct whatever personal business he wants to conduct, that the protocol is now that we need to write to governors first, then we're setting a very, very dangerous precedent. That means that even investors who want to come to Nigeria to do, whether it be philanthropy or whether, did Bill Gates have to write to the Lagos state governor for permission to say, please, I'm coming to your state when I'm coming? So this, you know,
very high profile.
Very high profile.
Quick comments, then I go to talk about a quick comment.
So a couple of things. I think the authorities are seeing when this hate when people are peddling this narrative and rhetoric of hate. Yes. I'm sure they saw live on TV when Jared Tenebe says he hates somebody and he cannot stand the person, despite the fact that he was corrected. For good measure, this same Jared Tenebe, because they wanted to win elections, said that nobody watches Arise TV, that they don't have DSTV, and they can't pay for subscription because of the poverty of Obaseki has put in their state. Secondly, both of them, the governor and Nyesom Wike, they didn't double down on it, and they felt it was a joke. And that's a sad thing for the country. And when the governor kept on saying that there was nothing wrong with everything he said, everything is wrong. There are already petitions across board to embassies of nations and everywhere about the speech of the governor. And the governor does not even know the veracity of what his threats have become in society. But I'm sure there's, because you see, that's why politicians feel disgruntled when in the end, when it's not time for election, you come and say they should sign peace accord. When this governor is saying things like this, who is telling him to have some level of decorum? And that's why I say democracy dies in decorum. That's the sad reality. Secondly, Oji, with due respect, Saint Nyesom Wike, during campaign, you allow Peter Obi coming, isn't it? Why did you allow Atiku campaign in your state? Did we know all the things you did as regards venue or not venue? So because it's so easy for Saint Wike to talk now. He said he let Peter Obi come. What about Atiku? Why did Saint Wike allow
this application process?
It's application process. You see, let's be doing a K in this country and continue hypocrisy. We will see it when the country goes up.
Let me start with Jared Tenebe, the chairman of the Edo APC. I said yesterday that the people who occupy positions of leadership in this country, they should be at least persons who are enlightened, so that they don't embarrass the rest of the community with their lack of enlightenment. Hate speech is deplored all over the world, whether it's Algeria, Australia, Canada, the United Kingdom, or in the European Union. The Council of Europe specifically has legislation against hate speech, whether on the basis of political affiliation, race, or identity, or religion. And here in Nigeria, you have a politician who says he's a chairman of a party in a state saying, I hate somebody. Now, you know, in Nigeria at the time, there was supposed to be a similar legislation against hate speech. But of course, you know, there was a rebellion against it. It didn't work. The reality is that what we play in Nigeria is a politics of hatred, of hate. Now, when Wike comes along and he says, when he was governor in Rivers State, Peter Obi visiting the state as a presidential candidate, informed him and he provided logistics, transportation, and all of that. It's about relationship. Perhaps at that time, he and Mr. Peter Obi, they were on good terms. But for the most part, politicians in this country are not on good terms. And they relate to each other on the basis of sentiments, not on the basis of the common good, of the responsibilities of their office. So things have changed. Events have shifted. If the same Peter Obi were to say he was coming to donate in Abuja, maybe to the teachers who have been going on strike, Wike may say, don't come here. The same Wike that accommodated him in Rivers State. Finally, the governor of Edo State, Okpebholo, he says there is what he gave was an advice. Okay, an advice is a recommendation, not a threat. Okay, but he said that he would not be able to guarantee the security of Peter Obi. That's a threat.
Correct.
And he cited the example of his own personal experience. So I think the governor of Edo State actually needs that encyclopedia. The encyclopedia we tell him the difference between an advice and between a threat. He doesn't even need the encyclopedia. He can take a simple dictionary. And he can ask his commissioner for education to explain the difference between the two phrases to him. So he, and he repeated the offense. He said whether Peter Obi likes it or not, well, he is on his own. Let him come to Edo State. So this is what I say about enlightenment and the mental capacity, ability of the persons that we put in high offices in Nigeria.
Well done, Dr. Basi, well said. I guess Monday Okpebholo will seek the advice of the Commissioner for Education for a better interpretation of the threat that he made.
No, the problem is Okpebholo does not know the implication of what he did or what he said. And again, he does not know the difference between the two phrases, advice and a threat. He does not know the difference. And those people who brought him into power, who knows the difference, who should have advised him, enlightened him a little bit, and they are in support of what he said because they hate Peter Obi. They do not see what is wrong about that. Then I said something on that day that if Tinubu refused to if Tinubu refused to say something about it, to caution them, that means they are all acting scripts written by Tinubus and Wiki. Because you can't tell me Tinubu does not know the difference between this. Tinubu does not know that the governor is threatening another citizen not to come to a state, Edo State. He knows. If he keep quiet and not respond to this, that means we are working on his behalf. I said it before. And Okpebholo does not know the implication. That's why I like these people. Peter, very smart guy. Now, he's never said anything. The first move is to petition Okpebholo, ban him from the US and in the UK. I even wanted them to add this thing, the Jarrett, John, if that one too. If he does travel, and they should add him, because I've got these people, because we live in Nigeria, this country, Africa. I don't know reasons why we do not have laws in this country. If number one, Jarrett, no, Okpebholo issued this statement by now, even if you are in public, even if you are in position, you are the governor, no, now you would have been in somewhere, in jail, cooling off, according to Kenneth Okonkwo, you should have been there. Then, this one, Jarrett, Tinebe, this hateful speech like this on public national TV, if this was to be in the UK, somebody will come publicly to say this. No, now that guy, you go. You are a threat to the society. They don't want you. And he cannot even do it. They can't. But because we live in Nigeria. It's not even as if because we live in Nigeria. If we even live under a country, under leadership that respects the rule of law, they will not even say this. It's because they are working for their paymaster, Tinubu. They are all his boys. That's the major reason. If the time was during the time of Obasanjo or the time of Jonathan would have said something, caution them. Especially when they are not from the same party. But now they are the same party, they are the ruling party. It becomes a problem for anybody to do anything about it now, because the head is giving them the authority to abuse, to accuse people, to threaten people. Because he himself have done the same thing. He's the one who says power is not servant. And like I put it, that you should grab it, take it, grab it, and run away with it. That's a threat already. So the boss has done it. Who is cautioning them? Nobody. That is a problem. That is a country we find ourselves. It's a pity. It's pity. But what I'm still saying, if Peter Obi comes to Edo State, if something happens to him, then you will know that people will be say they never talk since, say that they Peter Obi get people. This country, that seat when you dey occupy as a governor, it not will contain you. Now advice where they give you. Now advice everybody they give you, you need to learn how to speak as a governor. If you have anything concerning, that's what governor will not come out publicly to threaten another person because of the office. What you do, you send your spokesman to go and respond. You see, during election period, everybody try to maintain, they in between, be civil. And then you see their spokesman, they can abuse each other, abuse this, abuse that. They will, even if they are the one telling them what to say, through their spokesman, not the person himself. But you, because of your ignorance, because of your arrogance, you now carry your rascality, come to public display, to display your level of ignorance, to threaten another person, and you say you don't know the difference as well. Please share this video. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Be your guy. Don't know for me now. Please subscribe.